Greetings and welcome again to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. I wanted to do something to just show new things that I've picked up lately. And by lately, I mean within the last like 3 days. Several games, and they're all new to me, but not new per se. Although this one is, obviously, I've already done a first look for this. So you might be saying, well, we know about that one, Joe. What's going on here? I just wanted to use this as kind of the setup and talk about what I'm going to do. So from time to time, I may do this, just show you games that I've just acquired that you may want to see. So you would have the ability to comment on that and let me know if this is something you'd be interested in seeing sooner rather than later. Whenever I get something, I almost always plan on doing it for the channel, playing it for the channel, doing something with it, obviously. And I don't always get to that, but I do have good intentions for what that's worth. Okay, so we will move on from here. Obviously, this is British Tank Ace. I will be playing this. We already have our first look done. It's already posted, so you've seen it, and you will see some gameplay from this in the reasonable future. Perhaps not in September, but I think there's a chance we'll get to it in September. If not, it's perfect for Tanktoberfest, which of course will start in October. Next up, we have something that is certainly not new, but again is new to me, and it is from Decision Games. It is World War I Deluxe Edition. Just picked this up, and while I'm talking about picking this up, the next few games, including this one that you're going to see, I got from Rockin' Games. And that's rockinbgames.com on the web, and just a quick shout out to the store, because they, just a really good selection. You get a decent discount. The more you buy, the more your discount will be. You also get discount when you spend a certain amount of money. There's free shipping at a pretty low threshold. I think it's 49 something. And yeah, just for me, it's really quick delivery too, because we're both in Ohio. That may or may not be true for others. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to that store on the web. Again, Rockin' B, check it out. You not only get your games, but you get some goodies too. So here you can see we got some candy, and we got a die there. And then here is the card. All right. Rockin' B Games, there you go. So check it out. Now, no, they're not a sponsor, but I really like that store, so I figured I'd give them a shout out. Anyway, World War I Deluxe Edition from Decision Games. Quick look at the back. I'm not going to read it, but you can see the map is interesting because it's turned kind of, I guess, in a strange, well, maybe not strange. It's just kind of like this being the bottom, and this is Italy. It's just a different look, I guess. And then, of course, you have the secondary map for the eastern, or I guess Near East part of the front. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this. It's technically a 2 to 4 player game. I feel like it is fairly solitaire friendly. It shows it as medium to high complexity. And yeah, so just a quick look there at that one. Now we're going to check out the next one on my list. Now, if you know me, you know I am a Herman Luttman fan, and this is a new game from him, relatively new, published by HexaSim, and it is called 12th Battle, the Caporetto Campaign 1917, so obviously a World War I game, Italian front, which we don't have a ton of, but there are some other games, and I actually have a couple of them. But anyway, this is a solitaire game, as I mentioned, and take a quick look at the back as well, since we can, while we here, again, not going to read a whole lot here, but you can see number of players is 1, playing time about 2 hours, low complexity. So it's got cards. That's kind of a Luttman trait, I guess. A Luttman favorite amongst mechanics is to throw some cards in there to kind of help drive action or mix things up. And you can get a good look at the counters here. Relatively short playtime, 2 hours, 14 and up. And again, looks at the cards and some of the counters and the map. All right, now we will move on to the next one. And for this one, we bounce back to decision games. This is Cobra, the Normandy campaign. So this box is surprisingly light. I got it and I was like, boy, it feels like there's hardly anything in this box. But it's a paper map, so that would, when you don't have mounted maps, that really decreases the weight of the game. And I don't mean weight in terms of complexity, I mean physical weight. And this is a 2-player game. And you get a look here. It's when they say Normandy, they mean Normandy. There's the Normandy Peninsula there. And so you've got, your typical kind of decision games looking counters. There are a couple of scenarios plus the campaign game. So you have which covers the Normandy campaign from D-Day through the final breakout. So this is another interesting one that I am looking forward to playing. I've had it on my radar for a long time, and I've waffled back and forth on getting it. But the more decision games I play, the more I enjoy them. So I figured, what the heck? Rockin' B was having a sale over Labor Day weekend, so I grabbed this. Now we'll take a look at the last, but certainly not least, new acquisition. And I may have to zoom out for this one because it's a big one. So here we go. As I said, this is a big one. This is Pacific War 2nd edition, the updated edition that was published by GMT a few years ago. And the reason I hadn't already picked this up, because A, I'm a big Mark Herman fan, B, I'm a big Pacific War fan, is that I have this game. I have the original version, the Victory Games version. It is one of the handful of old games I still have. And so I kind of, again, waffled back and forth. Should I get it? Should I not? Ultimately, I decided that with my current series on Monster War Games, Mark says this one's not a Monster War game. In terms of size, I would say you could call it that. Certainly if you're playing the full strategic scenario, I think it qualifies. But I think his point is there are smaller bite-sized scenarios in this guy that you can do that certainly aren't monster level stuff. But I mean, the size of the box, I mean, look how thick this is. This is a big box. I mean, this has got to be 4 inches, easy 4 inches. This is just a monstrous box. And there's that word again. But yeah, I think I agree with, I mean, I've played it, obviously. I've played the Victory Games version from the 80s. But this one, of course, is the new and updated version, kind of his final polishing of this particular game. And, obviously there are ties to the later Empire of the Sun game that he did, which was more card-driven. This is your classic, basically classic hex and counter game. You can see the complexity is way high. The solitaire suitability is way low. There are some things in here you can play solitaire, but it is basically a 2-player game with screens and force displays, and it is truly a stupendous work. This is a magnum opus in many ways, at least in my opinion. So this one I will probably do as part of Wargame Monsters. Sorry, Mark. Only because of the sheer size and complexity of the whole enchilada, so to speak. And yeah, I mean, I think in his book, Mark mentioned, or maybe even in the game material, he mentions that he's only played it himself to completion 3 times. Because it is such a monster game. You can see, and again, I shouldn't say that. It is such a big game. The strategic game is a big game, 100 hours, right? And he's not kidding. I have never played the game through to conclusion, and I have hilarious memories of trying to set this up in my small bedroom back in Jersey City when I was, 16 years old or something. But yeah, this one was one that is near and dear to my heart, and I figured I would finally splurge and get the Mark's final word on this particular gem of a game. So Oh, I do have two other small things I can show you. So let's do that. So this, I said two. The other things are the add-ons, the expansions for the Saipan game from Panzer Grenadier, which is also Avalanche Press. So I did get this from Avalanche Press the same day I got British Tank Ace from Compass. So, and then the next day I got my box from Rock and B with the other 4 games in it. But anyway, Far Side of the World used to be called Cruiser Warfare. This is a Great War at Sea game, and it's basically the Germans in the commerce raiding in like the Indian Ocean and the Pacific. It's a cool situation. The East Asia cruiser squadrons, superbly trained crews made Admiral Maximilian Graf von Spee. Small fleet, the envy of the China station. But when war broke out, this tiny force found itself far from home and threatened by powerful enemies. After an epic journey across the Pacific, I guess I shouldn't have said Indian Ocean, and ended up in like the Falklands in the South Atlantic. After an epic journey across the Pacific, his cruisers met their end off the Falkland Islands in a final battle. So this has a big map, and it says, I believe that here somewhere, but maybe it was in the materials for it. Gigantic map, operational map, or strategic map. I think it's just strategic map. Anyway, it's been a little bit, but you can see copyright 2025. This is kind of fresh off the press here. I've been waiting on this for a while. I know some people are of the opinion that Avalanche takes way too long to deliver some of their pre-order stuff. And yeah, I was getting antsy to have this one, but I understand what Mike Benninghoff is trying to pull off with his small business. So I cut them as much slack as humanly possible. So anyway, this is one that I will play as well. Again, not sure when. Maybe I doubt it'll be this month, but it probably won't make the cut in October only because of Tanktoberfest. Maybe I do a naval November or something. I've got other naval games I'd like to play as well. So we'll see. It's the same old story, too much stuff, and I keep getting more and not enough time to play it all. So I didn't want to make this too long, so I'm going to cut it off here. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up on some of the things I've just picked up. I still would like to do more of this kind of inside the library kind of thing, show you games I have that I haven't done yet, so you get an idea of what you might be seeing aside from the new stuff that I get, new things that catch my eye on Kickstarter or P500 or early orders or whatever it may be. I've got tons of stuff on all kinds of lists for all the different publishers and Kickstarters I've backed and all kinds of good things. So you'll always get that stuff, but I do have a backlog of things that I already have on a shelf that I have not yet played for the channel, and in many cases have not played at all. So that's enough babbling out of me. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing. I will again throw out a mention of the channel memberships and a shout out to Tom Marshall, who is the first and so far only member of the channel. He is in the countered tier, which is the second tier. So he gets a free, well, I shouldn't say free, he gets a 24-hour advance look at all my stuff as I do it. So he'll get to see this a full day, if he wishes to, a full day before everybody else. Not too bad. And I did start a Discord server as well, and anyone who is a member at that tier would also get access to that and get to chat with me. So far, there's been no action there, but that may change, hopefully. Hopefully that more people will sign up and we can have a little community in there. And then I'm planning on doing live stuff too. And you can show off your emojis and all that, member badge and all that good stuff. Anyway, enough of a plug for that. I am done. I need to take a drink because I've been talking for 15 minutes. So thanks again. And until next time, I'm Joe. This is Hexed Encountered. And keep those dice rolling and those counters moving. Until next time, bye.